Hey, what's up everybody, it's Axel, and today we're going to be talking about the Hisenior Mega5EST Bass Plus. It's a limited edition with only 1,000 units available worldwide. It's a tribrid IEM, meaning it has 3 types of drivers, 1 custom 10mm dynamic driver, 2 Nozzle balanced armatures, and 2 Hisenior EST drivers for a total of 5 drivers. Price is around $589, and with that out of the way, let's talk about what comes in the box. Basically, you get this nice carrying case. It's made out of sheepskin leather. It's a hard carrying case, hard on the sides, the top and the bottom. The top is padded as well as the inside for that extra bit of protection. It's very different from the case that comes with the original Mega5EST, but this one I would say is a bit more portable or practical at least. And then you get 6 pairs of silicone ear tips. The ones on the right are dark colored and narrow bore, taller. The ones on the left are a wide bore, and they are wider at the base. So if you get them, make sure you try both to get the best fit. And then you get 2 pairs of foam ear tips, you get a carrying cloth, and you get a clip with 4 nozzle filters. And then you get something very unique, which is this short 3.5 female to 4.4 adapter. It's not an impedance adapter, so I'm not sure exactly what's the use case for something like this. I don't know exactly. Maybe the only thing I could think of is for people who are using dongles or portable devices and they want to get that extra bit of power from their portable dongles. In that situation, a device like this could come in handy. And after that, we get this cable, which is actually a very, very nice cable, but sadly, it's not a modular cable. So you have to choose either between 3.5 or 4.4. I think if they made it a modular cable, would be better than including a dongle adapter like this. Anyway, in terms of the cable, it's very, very nice. It's very soft and pliable, and it has this absolutely fantastic feel and look to it. It's a very, very nice cable. If I leave it flat on the desk, it has no memory. Like you can see, it doesn't take any shape, and it has even some weight and heft to it compared to other cables. Zero microphonic, it doesn't tangle with me. It's absolutely nice cable, and it stays where, you know, if I wrap it and I leave it, it stays nice on the desk. Absolutely fantastic cable. In terms of the earpieces, this is how they look like. They have this new color and new earpiece design. You can see here it's kind of black, and on the right you get the shiny red color. They removed the Phoebus and they added this logo, which kind of reminds me of the sword of Alucard from Castlevania. The earpieces themselves has this contoured shape, and in terms of fit and comfort, the nozzle diameter is 6.2, so it's an average nozzle diameter. I've had no issues with the fit and comfort. I wore it for hours. It has this very nice fit to it, and I think it will be comfortable for most people. In terms of average noise isolation, I would say it's average. Now let's talk about the sound. Let's look at the frequency response graph, and if you look, you will find that this has, you know, a very significant sub-bass boost. This is over 5 dB compared to the Mega5EST, which already has a boosted mid-bass, in my opinion. You get a sub-bass boost along a mid-bass elevation. The rest of the tuning follows the smooth, balanced, and, you know, natural sounding meta-tuning philosophy that we see in the original Mega5EST. So basically, it's a Mega5EST with the sub-bass boost and some mid-bass elevation. Let's start talking about the bass, which is undeniably the star of the show here. Now, the first time I heard this, I was listening to a track by deadmau5, and I'm not kidding here, I got goosebumps. This level of sub-bass, man, this is like, let's be clear here, guys, this is sub-bass head territory. This is not for everyone. This is for the bass heads, for people who like that sub-bass boost. The sub-bass is very deep, very tactile. You can feel it as well. It has this strong visceral rumble, and it has that impact, and the mid-bass is as well very impressive. It's full, it's textured, it's powerful. It has that slam and doesn't overwhelm the mids at the same time, but it's a sub-bass focused bass shelf. So despite it being substantial, it's still clean, it's still controlled, and you know, it's not muddy or bloated or anything. It sounds exactly, in terms of quality, it sounds exactly like the bass of the Mega5EST, just the sub-bass is elevated along with some elevation in the mid-bass as well. So drum kicks sound, you know, full, impactful. Sub-bass in every track you listen to is a bit emphasized. But anyway, like bass guitars stand out. They have this satisfying weight and texture. And I'm happy to say the mid-bass doesn't bleed into the mids, so you get still clarity overall in the sound signature. Now, the mid-range of the Mega5EST Bass Plus is one of my favorites as well. It adheres to the meta-tuning philosophy, so vocals sit in comfortably in the middle, not too forward, not too recessed. Male vocals have their natural thickness. The instruments, you know, like cellos and acoustic guitars sound rich, they sound lifelike, they sound natural. Pinna gain is comfortable around 8 dB, so you get that natural balanced sound with the sub bass boost, of course, but you don't go into that shouty area, even if you listen at high volume. And some people who like bass, will like to crank up that volume, and it will never sound shouty. This is one of the great things about that tuning. Female vocals and upper mid-range instruments like violins, flutes, still have that clarity, still have the energy, and they don't sound unnatural, they don't sound thick, they don't sound husky or fatiguing. If I compare this to the original Mega5EST, I would say here the mid-range in general sounds just a touch warmer, just slightly warmer, just slightly thicker note weight compared to the original, but still you still get that clarity that you get with the Mega5EST. That's the benefit of a clean sub bass shelf like that. And in terms of the treble, it's very smooth, it's very natural. Like I wouldn't describe it as airy, sparkly, shimmery or anything like that. I would describe it as a bit smooth, a bit inoffensive, good detail, very safe. That's how I would describe it. I would say it's ideal for long listening sessions. Transients are a bit on the soft side, and that's something I want to say as well. But if you think about it along with that treble presentation, you're talking about a sound signature that's very smooth, but not exactly like incisive like compared to some other IEMs, that well-defined notes. It's a bit smooth. The whole signature is smooth with a focus on the sub bass. Now, in terms of detail retrieval, I have to say, like, it's not a class leader, right? It's not the last word in terms of detail, but it's still very detailed. It has great detail retrieval. It has the same amount of detail that the original Mega5EST has. So if I bring up my technical scale, I would say it lands, let's say 75% between the Truth Ear Nova and the Pilgrim. Still, there will be other IEMs like the Pilgrim and other IEMs I will talk about today, which have better detail. In terms of soundstage and imaging, I will describe both as good or average. Like it's not super wide sounding, it's not intimate or claustrophobic either. Imaging is precise, but it's not super precise or outstanding that makes me want to talk about it. I would say they're good, right? Instrument separation is excellent as well. Timbre is natural and rich, especially in the mid-range. It has that pleasing, slightly warm tonality on top of the mid-range, which makes it nice for a long listening session. Now, I will start my comparison against, first, number one is the original Mega5EST, because I think there are a lot of comparisons and I want to highlight them. Basically, guys, the Bass Plus edition is the original edition, just with a sub bass boost, a mid bass elevation, slight warmth on top, and slightly thicker note weight. Exactly same level of detail, exactly same soundstage, same imaging, same technicalities, very similar timbre. Both are very close. Just when the track calls for it, when you get to to those hip hop, EDM, dubstep and stuff like that, you start noticing the Bass Plus edition has a lot more sub bass and it has a stronger mid bass punch. But honestly, the vocals and the mid-range tuning sounds very similar, and the treble and technical performance is identical. I think the original version is a safer all-around choice. I think the Bass Plus is a specialist IEM. It caters to bass heads or those seeking, to add a fun element by adding that sub-bass boost. So it's not going to be for everyone. Now, let me get this DUNU DK301BD, which is a great IEM. I reviewed it and I talked about it. People think I don't like it. I actually like it. It just, there were two areas, key areas actually, that just didn't align with my personal preference, personally speaking. And one of them is the early mid-bass dip around 150 hertz, which kind of resulted in that, the mid-bass stuck resulted in that lighter mid-bass impact, and maybe some of the male vocals and instruments sounded a bit too clean, maybe some lean, you could say that. They don't have that full body presentation. And another thing is the treble, which in my opinion could sometimes lean brighter and could sometimes sound a bit spicy, at least for my taste. Both of these are not exactly, neutral. Both of these emphasize different areas. And even if I compare the original version to the DUNU DK301BD, you find that the original Mega5EST does a few things differently. Like it fills in that mid-bass tuck or dip I was talking about. It gives the instruments a fuller, richer, more natural sound with natural timbre. Treble is smoother as well. Maybe not as detailed, but it's not elevated. It will never sound sibilant or spicy. I think the Bass Plus version takes this further, like it overcompensates, and it's a specialist. Both of these are specialized tuning. The Bass Plus adds that sub bass boost, that more mid bass, slightly warmer, fuller mid range. So I would say the Bass Plus is for those who want the meta tuned IEM with a sub bass focused bass boost. They want good detail. They want a full and natural mid-range. They want smooth treble. The sound is safe on the Bass Plus. You're never ever going to get any harshness in the mid-range, any sharpness in the treble, any shoutiness, any fatigue, unless the bass is too much for you, and in that case it could be overwhelming. But it's a fatigue-free tuning, right? It's natural, it's inoffensive, just it has a sub-bass boost that will cater to people who like that. The DUNU is a slight V-shape. It has less bass, but overall it has more air, it has more shimmer, it has more sparkle, and it has the superior detail. It has the better resolution, the better separation, the faster transients, the well-defined notes, right? The treble maybe could be spicy sometimes, but overall, if you are into, you know, a slightly brighter sound signature, I think the DUNU is one of those exciting sounds. It grabs your attention, you know, it's a bit more dynamic sounding as well. Now let's talk about who do I recommend the Bass Plus to. Obviously, number one is for bass heads. That's, you know, obvious. If you like bass, if you like a lot of impactful mid bass, or specifically if you like a lot of low, deep, rumbling sub bass, you like that sub bass focused bass shelf, I think you're going to love this. This is a nice tuning that doesn't intrude into the mid range, and the mids still remain clean and natural. Even for people who love vocals, I think they're going to love this here, as long as they love that extra sub-bass boost. If you tried the Mega5EST and you feel that you're a bass head or you want a more sub-bass boost, right, but you want to keep the rest of the tonality intact, I think the Bass Plus version will kind of hit the sweet spot. It's a great pick for something that you're going to listen to all day long. People who like the smooth, non-fatiguing sound, people who like the fuller sounding mid-range, people who like hip-hop, EDM, you know, dubstep, you know, soundtracks, anything that has bass and they like the added bass, they're going to love this here. Who I don't recommend this to, obviously number one, people who don't like a lot of bass, because this amount, let's be honest, this is a lot, and this is a specialized tuning. This is for specific people who like that, and they know they like that. Another thing I don't recommend this to, if you want the best sounding detail IEM at this price, if you're looking for, you know, a hyper technical IEM, something that's, you know, has that very airy treble, and like if you compare it to other IEMs at this price range, you will find it's the most detailed IEM. In that case, no. Another thing, I don't recommend it for people who are, you know, fans of energetic or brighter tunings, people who like Harman style type of tuning, right? Like something like the Moondrop Variations, and something that's going to give you a bit of an upper mid and, you know, treble focused, a clean mid bass tuck. And again, for people who like a lot of vocal clarity, it's not that the bass overshadows anything, it's just the nature of the meta tuning doesn't give you that wow factor that you get with other IEMs like the Moondrop Variation and stuff like that. And to be honest, for the longest time, I was not a fan of the meta tuning. When I listened to it at first, I was not a fan, you know, and it just, to me, I'm being honest here, it sounded a bit boring, it sounded a bit flat, it doesn't excite, it doesn't add anything. But the more you listen to it, the more I started to appreciate it, and the more I started to fall in love with it, and it grew on me. And I like, it's like seeing the natural sound. It's something that gets out of the way, and it sounds natural. And perhaps when I say something sounds natural, is perhaps this is the highest praise I could give to an IEM, that it sounds natural enough, right, that you don't notice anything. So it's in neutral bass, but of course here you're getting that extra element of fun, which is the sub bass boost, and this will be like kind of a preference thing. If you like bass, lots of bass, this one is going to be fantastic for you. So let's give this a rating according to our new rating system, and I will give the Hisenior Mega5EST Bass Plus, I will give it a rating of a solid 4-star. That means it's very good. That means strong performance and very competitive, and has some standout qualities. But of course, because of the bass, that sub-bass boost, I'm not going to recommend it for anyone, right? For everyone. This is not a universal recommendation. But let me tell you, if you are a bass head, if you like lots of sub-bass specifically, this one is a 4.5 stars from me, for those who like that added sub-bass. And that concludes our review, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you have any question, leave it down and I will get back to you. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.